Who truly was Mary Magdalene? A sinner, a saint, or a symbol of the divine feminine? This is a question that has sparked countless debates and interpretations throughout history. Mary Magdalene's story is one of the most enigmatic in religious scriptures. Her portrayal has varied widely from a repentant prostitute to a close disciple of Jesus, and even, in some interpretations, his wife. The Bible, the primary source of her story, presents her as a devoted follower of Jesus, who stood by him even in his darkest hour. She was the first to witness his resurrection, a privilege that cemented her place as a significant figure in Christianity. However, it's important to remember that the Bible is not the only text that has shaped our understanding of Mary Magdalene. Apocryphal texts, those not included in the canonical Bible, offer different and sometimes controversial perspectives. For instance, in the Gospel of Mary, she emerges as a spiritual leader, sharing visions and teachings she received directly from Jesus. This portrayal sharply contrasts with the penitent sinner image that has often been associated with her. The enigma surrounding Mary Magdalene doesn't end with religious texts. Throughout the centuries, she has been the subject of numerous secular interpretations. In art, literature, and popular culture, she has been depicted in myriad ways, from the penitent woman washing Jesus' feet with her tears to the enlightened Gnostic teacher. Each interpretation adds another layer to the complex tapestry of her story, further mystifying her identity. Historians, theologians, and scholars have attempted to unravel the mystery of Mary Magdalene, but the task is complicated by the numerous narratives that have been woven around her over the centuries. Is she the fallen woman redeemed by her faith? Or is she the enlightened teacher, a symbol of the divine feminine? Or perhaps she is both, embodying the human struggle for redemption and the pursuit of spiritual wisdom. Evidently, Mary Magdalene is a figure shrouded in mystery, with a story that is as controversial as it is captivating. This enigma, this mystique, is what continues to fascinate us, making Mary Magdalene a compelling figure to explore and understand. According to the New Testament, Mary Magdalene was a devoted follower of Jesus. But was she more than just a disciple? Delving into the pages of the Bible, we find that Mary Magdalene was indeed a significant figure within the narrative. She is mentioned by name a dozen times across the four Gospels, more than most of the apostles. Notably, she was present at two of the most pivotal events in the Christian tradition, the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus. Mary Magdalene, along with a group of other women, remained at the foot of the cross, enduring the agony of Jesus' death when many of his other followers had fled. Her devotion didn't waver, even in the face of extreme sorrow and fear. 3 days later, Mary Magdalene was the first to find the empty tomb, and it was to her that the risen Christ first appeared. She was given the task of announcing the resurrection to the other disciples, earning her the title Apostle to the Apostles in some Christian traditions. But what do these events tell us about her status within the early Christian community? Clearly, she was more than just an ordinary follower. Her presence at these key moments, along with her role as the bearer of the good news of the resurrection, suggests that she held an important position. Some scholars even argue that she was a leader within the early church. However, interpretations of Mary Magdalene's role have varied widely over the centuries. She has been portrayed as a repentant sinner, a devoted disciple, and everything in between. These differing portrayals reflect the complex and often contradictory views of women within the Christian tradition. Despite her significant role, Mary Magdalene remains a largely misunderstood figure within the biblical narrative. In the Gnostic Gospels, an entirely different portrait of Mary Magdalene emerges. Could she have been the most important disciple of all? These ancient texts, discovered in the mid-20th century, offer us a fresh perspective on Mary Magdalene, a perspective that challenges the traditional biblical narrative. The Gnostic Gospels, such as the Gospel of Mary, Gospel of Thomas, and Gospel of Philip, reveal a Mary Magdalene who was not just a disciple, but a spiritual leader in her own right. In the Gospel of Mary, she is depicted as a visionary, a woman to whom Jesus imparted special teaching and wisdom. She is seen as a source of spiritual guidance and a beacon of enlightenment, far from the repentant sinner often portrayed in mainstream Christian texts. The Gospel of Thomas, another Gnostic text, further emphasizes Mary's spiritual significance. In it, Jesus tells the disciples that Mary will attain a spiritual level equal to them, a statement that highlights her importance and challenges the patriarchal norms of the time. And then there's the Gospel of Philip, which suggests a close, perhaps intimate relationship between Jesus and Mary. Some interpretations even suggest that Mary was Jesus' favored disciple, the one to whom he revealed the deepest mysteries of his teachings. These depictions of Mary Magdalene paint a picture of a woman who was not only a devout follower of Jesus, but a spiritual leader in her own right. She is portrayed as a woman of strength, wisdom, and spiritual authority, a far cry from the image of the repentant sinner we often see. But these texts also raise questions. If these portrayals are accurate, why were they left out of the canonical Gospels? Why was Mary's role diminished in the traditional narrative? And what does this say about the role of women in the early Christian church? The Gnostic Gospels paint a picture of Mary Magdalene that is radically different from the traditional biblical narrative, adding another layer of intrigue to her story. From Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code to the musical Jesus Christ Superstar, Mary Magdalene has captured the imagination of artists and writers for centuries. But why is she such a compelling figure? Let's delve into this fascinating topic. Mary Magdalene's portrayal in popular culture is as diverse as it is intriguing, often reflecting the societal attitudes of the times. One common theme is redemption. She is often represented as a fallen woman who finds salvation through faith, acting as a symbol of hope and transformation. This narrative is compelling because it speaks to the universal human longing for forgiveness and renewal. Another central theme in Mary Magdalene's cultural representation is divine femininity. In a world where many spiritual narratives are dominated by male figures, Mary Magdalene stands out as a powerful emblem of sacred femininity. She is often depicted as the counterpart to Jesus, embodying qualities such as compassion, wisdom, and spiritual insight. This portrayal not only challenges traditional gender roles but also offers a more inclusive vision of the divine, resonating with many in our increasingly egalitarian society. Moreover, Mary Magdalene's portrayal in popular culture often humanizes biblical figures, making them more relatable to the audience. In The Last Temptation of Christ, for example, Mary Magdalene is depicted not just as a follower of Jesus, but also as a woman in love, grappling with her own emotions and vulnerabilities. This humanization of the biblical narrative enables viewers to engage with these ancient stories on a more personal level, fostering a deeper connection and understanding. Whether she's depicted as a repentant sinner, a divine feminine presence, or a relatable human figure, Mary Magdalene continues to captivate audiences worldwide. Her multifaceted portrayal in popular culture reflects our collective fascination with the mysteries of faith, the power of redemption, and the complexities of the human experience. Mary Magdalene's enduring appeal lies in her complexity, a figure who embodies both the human and the divine, the sinner and the saint. Mary Magdalene continues to fascinate us, her story inspiring debate and reflection. But what is her true legacy? The legacy of Mary Magdalene is as complex and multifaceted as the woman herself. It is woven into the fabric of her life, her struggles, and her triumphs. At its heart, it's a testament to her strength and resilience, a beacon of hope for those who seek to overcome adversity and find redemption. More than 2,000 years after her death, Mary Magdalene remains a powerful symbol of female empowerment. In a time when women were often relegated to the margins of society, she emerged as a pivotal figure in the early Christian movement. Her steadfast faith and unwavering devotion to Jesus Christ, even in the face of persecution, set a precedent for women in religious leadership roles. Her legacy also finds resonance in her spiritual leadership. As one of the first witnesses to the resurrection, Mary Magdalene's story serves as a cornerstone of Christian faith. Her encounter with the risen Christ and her role in spreading the news of his resurrection underscore her spiritual authority and the significant role she played in shaping the course of Christian history. Yet, Mary Magdalene's legacy is not without controversy. The ongoing debates about her historical and theological significance have spawned a multitude of interpretations and perspectives. Was she a repentant prostitute, a wealthy patron of Jesus, a beloved disciple, or even his wife? These questions continue to stir scholarly discourse and fuel our fascination with this enigmatic figure. Despite the uncertainties that cloud her story, one thing remains clear: Mary Magdalene's legacy transcends the confines of history and theology. It speaks to us on a deeply personal level, reminding us of our capacity for change and growth, of our potential to rise above our circumstances and redefine ourselves. Mary Magdalene's story is a testament to the power of transformation, a reminder that every individual, regardless of their past, has the potential for redemption and greatness.